Hello, this is Geraldine, the Living Water Quilter, and this is it's an experiment, put it that way. This is Studio B Live. I want to share with you some quilting, but not like Quilt Conversations Live. This is more Studio B Live. You get an opportunity to watch me work, to look over my shoulder. And so I'm going to experiment, see how this turns out, and just maybe every 30 minutes at the half hour and at the top of the hour, I'll answer some questions, one or two questions. But mainly it's an opportunity to watch me work. So right now I'm working on some projects, samples for ruler quilting classes that I'm teaching. And I'm on my Q20, sit down long arm, Bernina, and I need to warm up first. So that's what I've already started to do. The machine's all set up, and I'm going to switch over to another view. So as I take out these stitches here that I did not check, apparently the ruler was in the wrong spot. And so rather than continue, it's not much to take out. I'll just take that out up to a certain point. But if you have questions, please let me know. I'm here. I would like to answer them. Okay. Maybe you're wondering, how did I get started in ruler quilting or free motion quilting or quilting period? I sure like to know your story. How did you start quilting, or do you quilt? Okay, I'm trying not to break the thread because I want to knot it and bury it. I don't want to break it. So I just have to get it started, loosened up here. Okay, I still don't see any questions, which is fine. If you're watching on the replay, feel free to drop a question or comment below and I will respond. By the way, I will be live this week, Friday. I go live on the regular basis on the first and third Friday of the month on Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And usually there's a topic, and the topic for the past month or so has been about ruler quilting. And tomorrow's Friday's, not tomorrow. Friday's topic is must-have tools for beginners. Must-have ruler quilting tools. So I'm going to share the tools that I use and why they're important and how they help with successful results. We want good results, right? And having the right tool will help us with that. Yeah. Let's see. Checking here. Got a couple more people watching. Hello and welcome. I'm Geraldine, the Living Water Quilter, and this is a new live. It's called Studio B Live. Today is the first day, and it's an opportunity to look over my shoulder as I work on various projects. Tonight's project is a sample for a ruler class. And I've just taken out a few stitches with our best friend, the seam ripper. If you have a question, please let me know. Put it in the chat and I will answer if I can. Right. And again, in Studio A is my needles to bury the threads. For now, I'm just going to put it on the back. Okay, so I had to take some stitches out if you're just joining me because my ruler placement was incorrect. And now I'm going to correct that before I go any further, making sure I'm using the right part of the ruler. So this is where it should be. Okay, maybe it went off because it was off up there. Okay, there we go. This slides. This doesn't make sense if this is okay. There we go. Here and here. Here. Hello. Let me just check. All right, there we go. I'm going to check here. Okay, that's lining up. That's lining up. Another good thing about having these situations where the ruler placement is off, because it's going to happen in class, and it helps me with the solution when a student experiences the same thing. It helps me to troubleshoot to see if it's in the row in which I was stitching, or is it the previous row that's causing, and that's why I'm moving it over to the previous row to see, did I do something wrong there that I didn't realize I did? Okay. All right. It looks like I have to take out more. I wish I had knotted that, because, let's see, that is still off. I am baffled as to why that's off. Let's see. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Thank you. I didn't realize that you couldn't hear me. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Please let me know. It indicates on my external mic that it now is not muted. Okay, so I guess I'll repeat. I've been trying to figure out why the ruler placement was incorrect. Let me go back. All right, can you hear me? Please let me know. This whole time I've been chatting. This is Studio B. This is Studio B Live. This is a new live show that I want to do to show you the realities of quilting, the things that we learn as we experiment and try different things. It's an opportunity to look over my shoulder as I work on different projects. And tonight's project is a class sample with this acrylic ruler. And I was going along and making progress, and then all of a sudden the ruler placement was incorrect. Things were not lining up. And so I stop. This is what it looks like. I stop and I take out the stitching where I think the error began. So I go back, and so that's what I've done. I've gone back and now I've taken out those stitches, and I'm going to place the ruler down again and where I think it should be and see if it lines up with where it's supposed to be. I will do that. This is not the right angle. That's not the right angle. It's this one. I should probably put an arrow on that. Let me do that. Another thing that I like to do, especially when I have a ruler like this that has a lot of different sizes or lines that I have to use, I will take one of these arrows to remind me which one I'm using. So I'm doing that. Teresa, can you hear me? I didn't see in the comments if you could hear me now. Let me know. Okay, so let me double check. So yes, this is the correct one. I'm going to use that one. Okay, so now let me check the ruler placement. Here and here. It's still off by a couple of stitches. Now it's tempting to continue. And I'm thinking, since these rows are all correct, that maybe I just need to start this row from the very beginning and not try and fix it from the middle. Because if this one becomes problematic from here down, that means subsequent rows are going to have the same problem. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out. I'd rather do that because I don't know if you're the same way I am. I would see the mistake rather than the rest of the project. I would focus on, I should have taken that out. It would have been a better result, and I don't want to look at something and always look at the mistake. Especially if I had an opportunity to fix it early and not compound the problem. So I think it's worth, you know, the 5 minutes to take out these stitches. Okay. Perhaps Terry has left the room. Anyone else out there? I see there's 3 people watching. Let me know if the volume is up. Teresa, I keep saying Terry. I apologize. Teresa Green. I don't know if you're still there. She told me I didn't have volume. That's when I went to the overhead camera. All right, this is almost done. Almost. And I don't know if you noticed that I like to pull out thread from the back rather than the front when I'm using the seam ripper as much as possible, because if I, for some reason, stab the fabric, I'd rather do that on the back of the quilt than on the front. All right, almost done. Okay, thread everywhere. I think I know why I said terry green. It's because there's another quilter. So I undid the machine. Her name is Terry Green, but you are Teresa Green. Oops, I lost my earbuds. There we go. All right, a few more. Okay. Okay, let's rethread the machine. All right, let's give this a go. There we go. Hello, if you're just joining me, this is Studio B Live. This is me in Studio B. Normally I'm in my main studio when I go live, and this is a new studio and live show where you get to look over my shoulder as I work on different projects. Normally it's going to be late in the day after the hustle and bustle And work of the day is mostly finished. And this gives me an opportunity, quiet of the evening, to work on class samples or other projects. Sometimes I want to include something that's going to be fun, something that I'm working on that's personal, that's not related to a class sample. And I usually have a goal for the evening, and this evening the goal is to create a simple edge-to-edge design that students can stitch without marking on their quilt sandwich, just using the lines on the ruler. An edge-to-edge design, and that's what I'm working on tonight. This is the panel that the students will have access to stitch out. Designs so that they can have some fun with ruler quilting. All right, I went off one. Okay. And sometimes that's what our quilt patterns need, something simple, not complicated and not over quilted. So I like to have samples that show a lot of quilting, fun designs, and some that are simple and make for a fast quilting result, and it's not densely quilted. And this is one of those examples. Okay. All right. It's not too shabby. All right. That's all done without marking, just using the lines on the ruler. I have a little bit more to do to finish it out. I am thinking about the binding, of course, right? Okay. Right here. Here, here. And it's going to start about right there. And again, if you're just joining me, I like to stitch out designs that could easily work on both the home machine as well as on a long arm. So this design can work on a home machine if that's what you have. You don't need a long arm to stitch this out. Okay, like that was like way off. Let me move that over. Okay. Hey, Carmen, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh, you like this ruler? Yes, me too. I love this ruler. It's so much fun. I'm working on a class sample, an edge to edge, seeing if this could be something the ladies would like. And I'm on the last row. Now, my temptation is to actually quilt more inside this. I'm tempted. Okay, this last part. But the idea is to keep it simple. It's a simple cross hatch with this ruler. Let me take it out. not complicated. It's done row by row. And you just line up the rulers. I didn't have to mark this at all. Yeah, easy, easy. So my temptation is to go in there and add some additional designs on the inside. Let me go back to the other camera so that you can see. Here we go. So this is stacking the angles, right? Or you can connect them. See how these are connected? I can come back in each one of these and bring in another set, just like what's here. You can see it right here, right? Hopefully you can. If you look at this shape, then there's a diamond added here, here, here. And so I'm tempted to do that because I like this design. Yeah. But I may leave it alone. Another option would be to alternate, meaning that I would add one of these angles in every other row. So then I would count how many are there that are complete. So I could do them in 1, 2, 3 and leave these empty. Or I can do the ones just in the center and leave it at that. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it for tonight, let it marinate, and look at it tomorrow and see how I feel. But this is what I've worked on tonight. Mission accomplished. So this is the first Studio B live where I'm going to go live as I work on a project, and it won't always be a class sample. It could be anything, any project. And I'll go live for about an hour, and it has been an hour. Thank you for joining me. If you have a question about ruler quilting before I sign off, I'd be happy to answer it. There's still a few of you still watching, and if you have just found me and you want to know more about what I do, check out the channel. Ruler quilting and free motion quilting are my passion, and the second passion is to help ladies who want to learn those techniques, to learn them and then successfully put them in their quilts and enjoy the process. I like to take the fear out of free motion quilting and ruler quilting. So thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Oh, by the way, I go live this week. It's the first Friday of August, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every first and third Friday, I go live here on YouTube and on the Living Water Quilter Facebook page. So either one. The YouTube conversation, though, usually is a little bit more lively. There's more ladies here on YouTube who join the chat. So I hope you can come and join the chat. Until then, I'll see you at the next Studio Live B.